Hello everyone, it's Andrea, welcome back. Today we take a look at the M1 Garand, a weapon available for the US forces. And while it's an okay semi-automatic rifle, the M1 Garand has many flaws. First of all, the weapon is very loud, and not only when shooting but also when ejecting the clip. Secondly, a medium to long range doesn't perform very well. Sometimes you aim directly at the enemy and the shot miss. And you will notice that when you run around with your character, you get tired and it becomes more difficult to stabilize the weapon. With the M1 Garand, it's even harder. You will see that it feels like shooting a bolt-action rifle when you stop and try to shoot someone. The aim will be completely off. So what I recommend is always moving slowly or taking sprint and then waiting to recover your breath in cover and looking for enemies, because if you run around with the M1 Garand all the time, you will miss many times unless the targets are close to medium range. Over that you will miss. Also, the weapon has a 8-round clip, which is okay for a semi-automatic weapon. And where the M1 Garand shines, in my opinion, is the good damage. But since we are in Day of Infamy, all the weapons kill pretty quickly. That's why it feels weaker than the other semi-automatic rifles. Also, you can attach a bayonet on the weapon, which can be useful if you want to flank the enemy. If you tend to carry with you a lot of explosives, a sling can be also a good choice, since you will switch to your weapon faster. And even if from my perspective the M1 Garand is not one of the best semi-automatic rifles available in Day of Infamy, each faction has advantages and disadvantages. This means that maybe you have a bad weapon compared to the Germans, but they may spend more supplies in order to have it, so they have less explosives. Or maybe that weapon has less attachments. Take in mind the M1 Garand has a sling and a bayonet, and you can also have a rifle grenade if you want to. And one thing you will learn by using the M1 Garand is to move from cover to cover and wait a little bit before rushing. This is very important because we tend to rush all the time until we see an enemy in front of us. And sometimes if we stop from cover to cover, in this case for the M1 Garand, to recover the breath of the character and have a better aim and more stability of the weapon, what happens is, even if you don't have anyone in front of you right now, by staying those 5 seconds waiting, you can't imagine how many times some enemies come in your direction, and since you're waiting, since you're in cover, you have the advantage and you will take them out. So if you don't see enemies in front of you, doesn't mean that in 2 seconds someone won't pop up. This will train your patience, and when you switch to other games, I believe you will also play differently and maybe improve. So guys, thank you very much for watching. This is it for the M1 Garand, and now I'll see you on the next video.